Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Joys of Games podcast. This is episode 69.
Nice.
Recording on Thursday, November 16th, 2017. I am one of your hosts, Josh Brown. I am joined by the man who claims Superman is really dead, Collin Wheeler. Hi, Collin.
Hi. His mustache is definitely dead.
That upper lip, man. That upper lip.
Yeah.
Boy. How you doing, buddy? Welcome back to the show.
Hey, I've seen some horrors on the internet lately. Primarily Pikachu speaking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen this clip, but it made me my stomach hurt a little bit.
Just speaking English.
Right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Danny DeVito, so I was really upset about that. So.
Right. Yeah. That the clip of the person recording that in the theater when the entire theater lost their mind collectively over that is so perfect to like the entire culture that Pokemon lives in, you know?
Yeah, I definitely couldn't tell if it was like boos or like cheers, because he's
didn't sound like cheers.
He's like, what? And then it kind of sounded like half the people were like, yeah, half the people were like, no.
I think there was just a lot of confusion as to like what was actually happening on screen. Yeah. So, new Pokemon movie, was it a one day only thing?
Yeah,
limited
so
release, or what was it?
They do, like Fandango and other companies do these Fathom events things, which oftentimes it'll be just like a re-release of an old movie. Like they did it with the original Blade Runner a couple months back.
Right.
But they also do like anime movies that are typically only in Japan, like widespread.
Okay.
So they'll bring like the new Ghibli movies, they'll do the Pokemon movies, and it's usually only like 2 or 3 weekends, and then after that, that's it.
Okay. So that's what this one was.
Yes.
Okay, this wasn't like the original Pokemon movie.
No, this was a remake of the original Pokemon movie called I think it's called Pokemon I Choose You, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
That
sounds right.
Yeah, so it's like a retelling of the Johto stuff.
Gotcha. Interesting. A few days ago, I put out another episode of this show. I did it with Matt Sonnenberg. You know him from his Skylanders character list fame. He's actually in Philly right now, getting ready to attend PAX Unplugged out there.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool. What is that exactly?
It's PAX, but just board and card games, no video games.
Oh,
hence the Unplugged moniker.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's clever.
Yeah, I mean, PAX is usually like 60-40, you know, maybe 70-30 video games to board game. But you know, a lot of people go to PAX for the board games and card games, you know. It's just like the most of the show floor is dominated by the video game aspect and whatnot. But yeah, so this is first time that they've done this PAX. It's in Philly. It's going to be a little bit smaller, obviously, but yeah, it's just board games, card games, anything that doesn't require electronics, essentially. So, yeah, pretty neat. So he's out there attending that, and should be fun for him, I think.
Yeah.
It's nice that we're able to record tonight, Collin. I half expected you to text me today and let me know that you were going to be seeing Justice League tonight and couldn't record.
Yeah, I tend to do that.
Opening nights, you like going to your opening nights on the big comic movies.
I do like it, especially comic book movies.
Yeah, I was actually like going to try to worm my way in if you were going tonight. Be like, oh, well, how about that, Collin? I just happen to have a free night myself. And join along with whatever crew you're rolling with, but here we are doing this podcast instead.
Yeah, I'm happy to be doing this podcast instead.
Me too.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I like movies. I just don't need to see it opening night, you know? I'll go this weekend. Maybe I'll
I'm
pick
going.
up like the Sunday first showing of the morning.
Yeah, first show is the last show is the best time to go.
True.
I will be going to Star Wars opening day though.
Just that many people get me excited, man. Val and I went to see Thor on opening weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and we went on Saturday. I want to say it was Saturday. It might have been Sunday, but I'm pretty sure it was Saturday, middle of the afternoon. And there were only two seats together, like one pairing of seats together in the whole theater left open by the time we got there.
Yeah.
And it's just people just surrounding you that you don't know, and it just I don't know. Too much. Too many people.
I don't mind the people. It's often when I sit down that either me or my wife is next to someone that likes to chatter or someone that's just like crinkling a candy box for far too long.
Yeah.
It's like, just get your mic and mic out. I don't understand why it takes you like 10 crinkles just to get one out.
Also, let's talk about why movie candy still comes in those crinkly plastic bags.
So annoying. It's so annoying.
I feel like we could come up with a better solution to this, folks.
Yeah, it's just super annoying.
Anyway, I understand the want and desire to see Star Wars on opening night, but I don't have it in me to do that.
I don't blame you because it is definitely going to be an absolute full theater. So,
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like Rogue One, I think I saw a day or two after it came out, but the Episode 7 I saw opening night because honestly, like I go on Twitter far too often and I just don't want to see any kind of spoilers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's like me.
Collin,
It's almost like
let me tell you about trying to avoid Harry Potter spoilers.
Oh gosh,
20 years after the series came out.
That's way harder because people just assume they assume everyone knows. Speaking of which, did you see that like teaser picture that they put out of Fantastic Beasts 2?
The characters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was super clever that it was like it looks like a still picture and then all of a sudden it moves.
Oh, wait, what?
Oh man, it's on brand.
I have no idea what you're talking about then.
There is a teaser picture that they put out where it's the whole cast. So it's like you saw the first Fantastic Beasts, right?
Collin.
Okay. Anyway, so you have
it was the only thing of Harry Potter that I was able to just like fully dive into as far as I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has like all the surprisingly, it has all the characters from the first film, including
Credence,
which is interesting, but also the Nomad guy.
Yeah,
Jacob. Yeah. And then it also had Johnny Depp as Grindelwald, which looked super creepy.
Yep.
Appropriately so for Johnny Depp.
Also, Jude Law's Dumbledore.
Looks great. I'm on board.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just showed them like still picture, and then all of a sudden they're moving, just like Harry Potter. So
I definitely did not see that then.
You probably saw it. You just didn't see the moving portion of it.
Possibly.
Because I think it's the same image.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, super excited about that.
Yeah, great.
Apparently, I've been told, though, that I'm not allowed to read into potential plot or explanations as to what's going on in this film.
Right, and I think I think you'll be fine, but there's definitely a possibility that they're going to do winks and nods. Kind of. Did you ever see the Hobbit movies?
I actually didn't. No, I skipped those.
Okay, it's a good thing you skipped them. But in the Hobbit movie, they like allude to Sauron a lot.
Okay.
But in the original book, it wasn't really. He wasn't described as Sauron. He was like I think there was a brief mention of like a dark like lord or something like that of the past, but they never like alluded to what it was. But in the Hobbit, they full on have like the silhouette of Sauron, and it just like,
gotcha.
Man, this is awful.
Yeah. Well,
bad.
Thankfully, by the time the movie comes out, I'll be done with the series, so
yeah,
I'll be totally fine. It's just I'm not allowed to like look up potential write-ups and previews of the movie up until then.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've heard this many times before, but I'm going to tell you as well. You're just not ready. You're just not ready.
I've heard that a lot.
You're just not ready.
I'm not calling.
And I'm sorry, but you're just not.
I will say, like, briefly, I just met my first pygmy puff, and I don't really know what it is, but I kind of love it already. So that's a thing.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm in a happy place.
Yeah, just think about that.
Yeah,
just think about that happy place for a little bit.
Collin, what I am ready for, definitely, is to talk about Nintendo.
Yeah, can I do late breaking news right now?
Is it like serious late breaking news?
Well, I mean, it's not like huge, but I'm excited about it, and you're going to be excited about it.
Break it.
Box Boy series receives tease for a possible sequel.
The
Box
series?
Yeah. Box Boy.
A sequel to what? A series or a sequel to the last sequel?
I don't know.
What?
So
what
Box Boy series received a tease for a possible future title at the end of a new video uploaded to the official channel for the series from Nintendo Japan. This is not the first hint as to the future of the series. In February, an issue of Famitsu, the series director, Yasuhiro Makai, declared that he was interested in working on the series on the Nintendo Switch. However, he said that he cannot confirm anything at this stage. So, I wonder if that means we're getting a port of the trilogy.
I would guess that would be the most logical thing.
With the amiibo. Because I still want that amiibo. I cannot get myself to import amiibos. I don't know why. I'm weird.
Huh?
I can't do it.
Yeah.
The only exception I made was the Rob one, because you helped me with that. And then secondly, it just seems appropriate because it's the Famicom Rob, so it just seems like it should be the Japanese one.
But then it also came out here in the States.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
That amiibo is so cool though.
It is.
And it made me so sad that they didn't release it here because they put out Chibi Robo, which Chibi Robo was not a good game. I don't know if you played it, but it was not a good game.
I tried it and I was like, you know what? This amiibo is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the best part of that game. Was the amiibo that we got out of it.
Yeah, they definitely need to put out the collection, I think. But here's the thing, like they need to do that with like every 3DS title, I feel like. Every 3DS and Wii U title should be on the Switch at some point.
Yeah, and I think we'll see it because I mean, if they release A Link Between the Worlds, I already paid $40 for it. I'm gonna pay $40 for it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Heck, I'd probably pay more. I mean, I hope Nintendo's not listening, but I'd probably pay more because that game is one of the best Zelda games ever made, and I really want to play it again, but I don't want to look at my 3DS anymore.
Yeah, it's depressing.
Also, did you know there's a new Pokemon game coming out tomorrow?
I mean, new with like very gentle air quotes around it.
Yeah,
but, I mean, new. Yeah, but it's
I just so here's the thing.
Version
when Sun and Moon came out, there was a lot of hype around it, and granted, it was like a brand new game and yada yada yada. But like in the previous series, when you had two of the games, and then you had a third of the same game. Even that third of the same game had like lots of hype behind it. I just feel like Ultra Sun and Moon has like, except for the super super hardcore Pokemon fans, I just don't feel like the hype is there.
Do I know why?
The Nintendo Switch.
Well, that, but I mean, because previously they were like the best Nintendo games coming out, usually.
Yeah.
And for Nintendo, we've had 2 Game of the Year overall games come out for Nintendo. One just a few weeks ago. So I just, like, all of a sudden Pokemon isn't that necessary to be hyped out about, you know? Pokemon re-releases and upgraded versions are great when there's a drought in video games. Unfortunately, this is like the best year for video games ever, and it's not slowing down at all. Like going into next year, it's like next year might be as good as this year.
Yeah, dude. Like looking at Q1, I was trying to think about the games like, oh, there's really not that much coming out, and then I'm like, nope, there's Far Cry, and then there's God of War, and there's Crackdown,
Red Dead
Uh,
Redemption.
and there's
2.
Red Dead. And
Just stop
there's
there. And it's like, okay, cool.
Dragon Ball Z Fighters. Like, I'm like, okay, wait a second. I'm going to be broke in the first quarter too. Cool. That's great.
There's our Game of the Year contenders.
Stupid.
It's an embarrassment of riches right now in video games.
Yeah, man.
So for like a re-release, essentially, an upgraded version of an existing game, definitely is falling in the cracks because of what this year is in gaming. Also, it's on the 3DS, and if the Switch sucked, people would be more jazzed about it. But the Switch is such a good console that everybody's loving and clamoring for and wanting that it's hard to get excited about 3DS games still.
Yeah, I was reading a rumor that like Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are like adding extra developers to try to get a Pokemon game out in 2018 to be like the Switch marquee title.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would be. Like, here's the thing is, like, we've never had a proper home console Pokemon game. It's never existed.
Sure.
They've done, like, ports of the DS version on the GameCube back in the day, but it looked like a DS game on a giant screen, so it didn't look super great. But yeah, this is the first time. So, like, you're going to get... I think it's going to be similar to the resurgence that Sun and Moon had, where it was the 20th anniversary and people had nostalgia for it. And I think there's going to draw even more of that audience back.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that audience has a Switch or is thinking about getting a Switch. And then if you have like really nice graphics of a Pokemon game, it's going to be nuts. Like it's going to be the Wii all over again, man. Like you're never going to find a Switch in stock.
Right. Kirby, Yoshi.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to get a Smash Brothers game.
We're going to get more deluxe games for sure, and Virtual Console has got to be coming next year as well. So,
yeah.
Which, if that includes GameCube titles, like that's going to be a big deal as well.
Right. So,
oh man,
it's a good time to be a Nintendo fan.
Oh man,
you know, it really is. Where should we go from here, Collin? Where should we go from here?
Well, I think we should talk about one of the best games probably ever made.
Doom.
Well, I mean, that's a good one.
Okay, yeah. First, I want to say this. I haven't played Doom on the Switch yet, nor have you.
No.
But everything that I've heard about it is it runs just like you'd want it to. And people are blown away that they were able to put that game onto that console and make it run and play the way it does. Makes me super excited to play this game.
Yeah, man.
I'm stoked.
And you never finished it, right?
I did not, no.
Yeah, dude, the later levels in that game are just some of the best, one of the best, like, gaming experiences I've had in forever. Like, it is one of the best shooters I think I've ever played, and I love Halo, and I love, Destiny and Call of Duty. I mean, I play my fair share of shooters, but, like, Doom had such a unique flair to it that felt both nostalgic but also new, and I have no idea how they nailed it so well, but good lord.
Yeah.
That game is incredible.
Yep. So, I will be picking it up on the Switch. I don't know when, but I will definitely be playing it on my Switch. I'm excited for that. But it's hard to justify buying a Switch game right now because I can't stop playing Super Mario Odyssey.
I don't know how. I mean, it's a pretty terrible game.
I know.
It's
kind of the worst.
It's below Sunshine for sure.
Oh, I mean, everything is, to be real, but,
Yeah. They try.
Odyssey, Collin. Are you playing this game?
So I am playing this game. I want to preface this right now.
Oh, boy.
If you have not finished the main story of Super Mario Odyssey and you do not want to be spoiled, turn it off, finish the game, come back, because we are going to go into spoilers.
Okay. I thought you were going to tell me that you haven't got to the end, so I can only talk about certain things.
I've gotten to the end. I have not gotten all the moons, but I am slowly getting there.
Okay. So here's your warning, folks. Spoiler warning. Just, thank you for listening. We appreciate the download. And we'll see you next week on, I guess, PlayStation Week. No, Xbox Week. Week.
Yeah, Xbox.
Yeah. But if you're sticking around, let's do this. How many moons you got, Collin?
I'm in the 400s, but I'm not sure.
Ooh.
I'm not sure exactly what the number is.
So you're not a real gamer, is what you're saying.
I mean, yeah, I don't have lead status,
It's okay.
I try.
It's okay. I'm up to 875 or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're almost done then.
Yeah. I'm at the point where it's really hard to find the moons. It's really tough. Like, there are some very well hidden moons in that game.
Yeah, and they're everywhere too, which is funny. Like, they're hard to find, but they're everywhere at the same time.
I'm like, this is the smallest level ever. How could there be 24 moons here?
Yeah.
Oh, they're there.
Running into that a lot.
Yeah. So the end of the game.
Yeah. Did you feel like you were playing Mario, or did you feel like you're playing Sonic?
That was intense. I did not. You should have seen it coming, right? You should have seen the fact that you were going to have to take over Bowser.
Honestly, it never crossed my mind.
No, but it's obvious, right? Like, that's the entire point of the game. So, like, it totally makes sense in the realm of this game. But it's so out of left field at the same time.
Yeah.
And so perfect.
Yeah.
Like, it feels amazing. I'm like, I don't want this to stop.
No kidding. Like, I wish you could just, like, take Bowser and just play as him for, like, a lot more of the campaign. Like, that'd be so awesome. And the sequence, too, was reminiscent of, the end of Ocarina of Time or the end of Halo, where everything is exploding. You're, like, trying desperately to escape. It was just so much fun. You felt like the Incredible Hulk / Bowser just destroying everything and trying to escape. Oh, so cool. What a cool sequence.
Yeah. And as fun as that was, I will say the story capped off in such a cool and unexpected way that I was super impressed by what they did, because the whole time, like, when you started and, like, before the game came out and, like, right after the game came out, like, all you ever heard from people was how cliche it was that Mario has to go save the princess, and how kind of uncomfortable it was that Bowser kidnapped her to force her to marry him, and Mario's trying to be the White Knight and save her, and, like, it was just so cliche and kind of gross, especially in today's landscape of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And then to get to the end of the game and Princess Peach be like, I don't want to marry you. I'm not going to marry you, Mario. And, like, she's like, I'm just going to leave and go do my own thing because that's what I want to do. And you just, like, left with Mario and Bowser just standing there looking at each other like, yeah, we done messed up. It's like, you know what? Good job, Nintendo. Darn good job.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious because it's just like, it made it seem like Mario is equally as bad as Bowser in that case, where she's just like, I am not a thing to
15 years
after.
ago, that game ends with you marrying Peach, right? And now it's like, no, absolutely not. You don't just get to marry her because you quote unquote saved her. Like, you're not entitled to her. You don't win her. She's not a prize. She's like, no, peace out. Me and Toad are going to go kick it all over the world here. I loved it. I was like, pff. I put my Switch down. Like, you know what? Good job. Nice swerve. It sucks that you have to get to the end for that, because, like, just hearing so many people be upset about it, but, like, that also makes it more rich and fulfilling, knowing that those, like, everybody that you hear talk negatively about it before getting to that point will eventually get to that point, because it's not that hard to get to the end of the game, essentially. No. It's just like, oh, man, I can't wait for everybody to get to this point, because it's so good. It's so good.
It's really smart.
It felt modern in a way that you don't expect
Nintendo
Mario to be. Or
or
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both Zelda and
Yeah.
Mario are very mature, not as in like content mature, very like mature in their game design and like the way that they portray their characters,
Right.
which like we said earlier, you just don't expect that for Nintendo. You expect them to be very stubborn in their old ways where they just do the same tropes over and over and over again. So
And then when you go search her out in each one of the different worlds, she's not in need of rescue or anything like that. She has whatever cool sassy outfit that she wants on, and she's hanging out with Toad, and she's like, "Hey, I've been exploring this cool beach kingdom, and here's a moon for coming and saying hello. Now, go do your thing because I'm going to enjoy my vacation some more."
that's right.
So good. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
So
Yeah.
after game,
The new kingdom that opens up.
I could not be more stupidly excited in my entire life playing a video game. Mario 64 is one of my favorite games ever made.
Mm-hmm.
It is probably my second favorite Mario game, right behind Mario 3.
Okay.
But being able to go to the Mushroom Kingdom and it basically being like a 1080p version of Mario 64
Yep.
was the best feeling in my life.
Yeah.
And then going into the hat shop and seeing that I could purchase a costume that was Mario 64 in 64-bit glory. I just lost my crap. Like, I just flipped out. I was just like, this is just too much. I can't.
Did you use that costume to go into that locked room to get that power moon?
There's several of those rigid different costumes. So
No. The one specifically with the Mario 64. In the Mushroom Kingdom one.
you'll have to remind me what's inside there.
The courtyard with the fountain.
Oh, yeah. With the
top
boot.
down. Yeah.
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 Dude. Like, I'm so happy about that game.
So the moment that you get dropped down in there, I start running around and I just have like this. First of all, like, it's such a nostalgic feeling to be in that world again, because everything like just feels like it's exactly where it should be the entire time, which is really creepy and weird, but also flat out amazing. But the first thing I did, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to climb to the top of that castle. I'm going to see what's on top of that castle. And then I went up there, and there's a Yoshi egg. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Sure
They
enough.
put Yoshi up here?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, Yoshi was up there in the 64, so
That's
like,
what I mean. Like, that's why I went up there, because I was like, there's no way they put a Yoshi up here. They put a Yoshi up there. And you could throw a mustache on him.
Yep.
And make him, oh, God.
So good. It's so stupid good.
It's amazing.
So yeah, that last world just floored me. And you go back to each one of the worlds after it's been like saved or whatever, and there's tons of more stuff to do. I was going to ask you though, what is your favorite transformation in the game beyond Bowser and Yoshi? Like, those are like the pretty like special characters beyond those two.
I kind of really like that stupid onion.
Yeah,
that grows. I don't know why, but it just feels really fun to be that tall,
Yeah.
and still have a jumping ability,
Dude, the sound it makes when it jumps, I don't know why it's the most satisfying sound. It's like that boom, boom noise. You're like, yes, it sounds so cool.
Being the little frog with the top hats.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But also, okay, so there's the other, and that the robotic mechanical frog that you could be that just spits out coins.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I don't know what the purpose of that thing is, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
What's yours?
My favorite is the caterpillar.
Oh, right, yeah.
For some reason, just like moving around and going from platform to platform, extending out and being able to like swing around trees to get coins.
It feels
I don't know.
good.
I don't know why, but it just felt so good. Like, I was just so happy the entire time. And he makes an accordion sound when he goes back and forth. I was just like, oh.
The first couple times you extend with him, you're just like, oh, I'm not sure if this is going to work. And then it like totally works exactly how you imagine it working. And you're like, okay, this is going to be fun.
Well, it's the same thing with like, not to the extreme of the caterpillar mobility wise, but like stacking the Goombas. I'm like, this is going to feel awful, but it's super fun. Like, it's super fun, especially in the I think it's called the Luncheon Kingdom, the food one basically, where you have to as the Goombas you have to roll across the corn to get to the Lady Goomba, and I'm like, this is going to be terrible, and I'm like, it works so perfectly.
Yep.
This wasn't hard at all. This was super easy, and like not easy as in like this game is just broken easy, like easy as in it worked exactly the way I wanted it to.
Yeah, because the controls are perfect in the game. Playing as the Hammer Brothers are fun.
Yeah, man, that definitely was like, that was a trip for me because it's just like they're like my nemesis in the original Mario games.
Yeah,
they are the hardest people to get across. I always die by those stupid things, and then being able to become one and just throw either hammers or frying pans all over the place to break everything, I was like, oh,
or the fireballs,
so awesome. So the one thing that I thought was interesting, and I don't know if you've done this, have you become a piranha plant?
Yeah.
I did not know how to become a piranha plant. I did it on accident one time.
Mm-hmm.
And for probably at least 40 minutes, I was trying to figure out how to become the piranha plant again. Because I'm like, I have to light these two lanterns, but I can't figure out how to do it.
Right.
I think that mechanic is kind of strange, where you have to hit the rock into them and then transform into them.
Well, you gotta remember, like, their entire job is to eat anything that comes close to them. So if you throw your hat to them, they're going to eat the hat. Like, if they didn't eat the hat, they would be broken as a character. Like, that's their one job, is to snag anything that comes near them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I you're right there. I remember thinking about it, and it just seemed strange because it was the one...
Right.
The one thing that wasn't straight up, throw the hat once to get the hat to knock off, throw the hat again to transform.
Sure. But they're the one enemy that eats anything that comes near it.
Yeah.
So you kick a rock to them, they swallow the rock, and then you could throw the hat on top of them because their mouth is occupied.
Right.
I thought it was super clever.
Yeah, once I figured it out, I was way less frustrated. But man, those 40 minutes, I was like, what the heck is going on? I don't understand.
Yeah. But yeah, because it would have been weird. Like, unless you like are able to like sneak up behind them or something like that and throw the hat, then you get into like Mario sneak capabilities, and I don't want to play that Mario game.
Yeah, that's for rabbits.
Yeah. The tank is so fun.
Oh, tank's stupid fun.
Just blowing everything up.
Yeah.
T-Rex.
I mean, T-Rex is like, I couldn't believe right off the bat, like the very first world after the hat world, you're like, you get to be T-Rex.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's great.
And which explains why they had like that big reveal, like in the trailer. Because that seemed like such a cool thing. You're like, why would they show like late game content, It's like, oh no, that's the first world you go to. No big deal.
Some of the funniest puzzles in the games are the ones like you can transform into stuff, but literally the only thing they do is you just move out of the way. Like the tree that's down below that like forest area. And I'm like, oh man, cool, you get to be a tree. And then I move out of the way. I'm like, oh, all right. I guess that's really all a tree can do anyway, so that makes sense.
There's a boulder down there too that you can move.
Yeah, there's a boulder, and then there's...
manhole cover in Metro City.
Yeah, which is just so fun. Those are just so funny.
Metro City.
Yeah, dude.
New Donk City, if you will.
The Donk. That ending, man.
Incredible.
That ending being...
You play Donkey Kong!
Like, it's like oozing of nostalgia. Like, just it was...
Have you been into there since you beat the game?
With the original Super Mario World?
The theater? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
And the 1-up secret is there and stuff. I mean, it gives you a heart. It's not a 1-up.
Yeah, but still, because
it's still there.
They knew, without a shadow of a doubt, anybody entering that, the first thing that they're going to think about is what happens when I go for that 1-up.
Right.
Because everybody's done that. Everybody's played that game. Everybody knows there's a 1-up there. And this game doesn't have one up, so what is it going to be? Of course, it has to be a heart.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they put that there, like they could have put a secret moon, that would have been cool. But still, come on now. You get to play the original Super Mario Brothers in front of like a crowd of people, weird robot AI people. So good, man. So you've been to the moon?
Yep.
Have you been to the dark side of the moon?
What's over there?
It's a whole nother kingdom.
I don't know. I don't know if I have. I think my wife is over
it
there
has
now.
to like unlock. So like it would tell you like you unlocked the dark side of the moon.
I don't think so then,
Okay.
no.
Tell me when you get there, because that's pretty trippy. And then after a while, I think you have to get 500 moons or something like that. You unlock the darker side of the moon. And in that kingdom, there's only one power moon.
Yeah, I've seen...
And that's like the final challenge.
I've seen Sharon attempt it like 18, 20 times.
Yeah,
So
I've heard it's rough.
It's definitely like the biggest challenge in the game.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't believe like there's no checkpoints, there's no nothing. It's like this whole sequence with one transformation, this entire sequence with another transformation, and then another sequence with another, and you can't die at all.
Right. Yeah.
Like you just go back from the beginning.
Yep.
So man,
have your wedding peach amiibo ready, folks.
Yeah. I am so excited to watch speedruns of this game, especially that last moon.
Yeah.
Will
speedruns be to get all 999 power moons, or...
Oh, they'll do both, for sure.
Yeah, just that one final challenge.
Yeah, the community usually does two versions of it. They'll do like 3 variations. They'll do like one with all moons, glitches allowed, one with all moons, no glitches allowed, and then just beating the campaign with glitches and without glitches. So
yeah, this could be a fun. The hat and all the different abilities that you have with the hat, just make that game more. You could explore that game in so many different ways.
Yeah, honestly, the hat mechanic is kind of broken, but to the player's benefit, which
right.
I like.
Yeah,
like you can jump up just a little bit higher, even though you shouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
But
you need those like broken mechanics to win the stupid hard turtle races.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the only way to beat that stupid shiny gold dude.
Yeah.
He's so quick, man.
He's a punk.
Also, like, I don't know if you know this or not. Okay, so how do you play the game? Do you play it docked, undocked? What's your controller setup? Like,
it depends. I mean, it depends on if someone wants to watch a movie or something on the TV. So I do a little bit of both. I do Pro Controller docked, and I do Joy-Cons attached if it's
okay. So are you ever playing split Joy-Con?
I try to, but my left Joy-Con is messed up. I need to send it in Nintendo, so I can't play that way. So
that's not good. So there are so many more mechanics that open up when you're able to do that, because you can't shake the Joy-Cons in the necessary way when they're attached to the Switch to do some moves. Some of them you could get like with enough just brute force, like the throw the hat in a circle around you maneuver. That's kind of difficult to do when everything's attached and whatnot.
Yeah.
But there's a move that I just figured out, I want to say it was this morning or it might have been last night, that only works when you are the little tiny frog that jumps 1,000,000 feet in the air. Mm-hmm. Instead of hitting the jump button, if you wiggle the Joy-Cons back and forth, he'll do an extra high jump.
Yeah.
That's even taller than like the normal jump.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, most of the transformations, if you use the motion controllers, you will get extra height or extra length or extra jump.
No
something.
kidding.
Yeah. I play on the Pro Controller and it has motion sensors, and that's how I discovered it. And I think also when you transform to it on the very bottom, it'll say shake to do this or whatever.
Oh, I never pay attention to those.
Yeah, and also if you like flick the Pro Controller like a boomerang, it'll do the one where it like spins around Mario.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot. The motion controls you can from the Joy-Cons you can do with the Pro Controller. So
okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, I've only played it on the TV a couple times. I mostly just have it in my hand playing. So
yeah, that definitely makes it more difficult. But yeah, I would say probably like 10 moons, unless like you were saying you brute force it, you really can't get those unless you do the extra.
I brute forced a couple of them, Colin, where I'm just like, I don't think I was supposed to do it that way, but it worked.
Yeah, there was a moon that I got on I can't remember what the kingdom is, but it's the beach one with the squid guys that you like. Mm-hmm. There was a moon that's like completely offshore. And it's like super wide, so you can't really wall bounce. You're supposed to get one of the squids and go up and like basically use the jets to get over to it. And I didn't do that. I just used Mario and just used the hat and fudged my way over to the side to
get up there,
get the moon. So
that's not an easy maneuver.
No, and I was like banging my head and like. Afterwards, Sharon's like, why don't you just go to the squid guys? I'm like, they can't get out of water. She's like, no, but you can just shoot over it so you don't go on the ground. I'm like,
and there's conveniently a little tide pool over there.
Yeah.
That's in perfect location.
Yeah. I wish I was smarter than the average bear, but, you know.
Yeah. I mean, we all can't be Sharon, Colin.
Also, to be fair, we just came off of Breath of the Wild where you basically just, like, break the game in order for get it to work.
That's true. But I mean, again, that's what kind of Mario feels like. It's like if you want to make it more difficult on yourself, go for it. You don't have to, but you totally can, and it usually works.
Yeah,
with enough patience. It's such a good game, man. It's so charming. The music, phenomenal.
Yeah, like I said before, I was alluding to before, is the whole Bowser sequence was the only music I was like, what in the heck? This is the weirdest. It totally doesn't make any sense, any thematical parody with the rest of the game. It just is so strange. It was still great. Like I loved the sequence of Bowser, but it just felt so out of place to me. But the rest of the worlds, the different music, I just have it humming in my head when I'm not even playing the game, which is a good sign.
Right.
And then also the Jump Superstar song is constantly like repeat in my head as well.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's so good.
All the kingdoms feel so different and so unique and so fun in their own different ways. Like there were definitely some that on my first playthrough of them, I was like, whatever. It was a thing, right. You know, get through this or whatever. But like having to go back and pick apart each little area of each world, just it really makes you appreciate the design and the different art design, essentially, of each level and what they're trying to do with it, you know? Like, a lot of people are bashing, like, the Food Kingdom for being, like, not very detailed and kind of blocky feeling, you know? But it's like, when you step back and look at it, it's like, no, it's exactly what it's supposed to be, you know? It's not supposed to be super high-fidelity food going on here. It's a very cartoony version of what you would expect food to look like.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair criticism. I agree with you, though, the art design on that. I had no problem with the art design on that. Yeah. I think the art is really cool in that world. My only problem with that world is the navigation's not as smooth as the other worlds because you really, like, you don't play as Mario very much. You really have to be the little lava guy, and if you can't nail the jumps into the little circles or smash the tomatoes in time to be able to, you know, sit there, it can be a little bit more challenging than the other worlds. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing in this game because I feel like the game is challenging but not overly challenging.
Right.
And nailing those jumps, I feel like were the first like time where I'm like, okay, I actually need to like concentrate and make sure I land this correctly. Versus the other worlds, you kind of have leeway with the hat and everything else as Mario. So
Also, like, that level is like the best level for fast point. Warping to fast points.
yeah.
And that's what a system is designed for. You're like, I don't want to get all the way to the other side of the map. I'm just going to done.
Dude, I constantly forget about that thing.
Yeah.
Constantly. Because Mario games, it doesn't happen. Like, you just don't think about it.
Yeah.
And then, like, I'll die, and I'll go to spot, like, 4 or 5 times, like, trek all the way across the map, and then after the 4th time, I'm like, oh, crap, that's right, I can warp in this game.
Mm-hmm. What's funny is I'm still finding checkpoints that I didn't even hit the first time around.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did I miss that?
Yeah.
What was I doing? How did I not even hit that flag? I don't even understand. The moon level, the lack of gravity on the moon level is just killing me in the best way. Like, I am having so much, like, when I leave the moon kingdom and go back to the regular ones, I'm like, why is Mario not jumping? Why do you get so fat and heavy and can't jump anymore? Like, and I'm like, oh yeah, because you're not on the moon anymore. But so good, man.
It's perfect.
Oh,
Can I say one big disappointment I had? And it's only one, and I'm sure it's going to be rectified soon. My biggest disappointment is my boy's not in the game. My boy Luigi,
Wario?
He's not in there.
Waluigi?
No, Luigi. Don't talk about that crap of a character. He's just a giant turd that is in a bunch of Mario games. He is so forgettable that he is second fiddle to the second fiddle.
You know why Luigi isn't in this game, Collin?
Because they're going to sell DLC.
Oh, no, I was thinking Luigi's Mansion.
Oh, that'd be great too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're going to sell DLC.
Man, I don't... Why?
Luigi's Odyssey?
No.
Really?
What? Why?
Because money?
What would Luigi add?
Dude, he's got the fleet feet.
Dude, Yoshi has fleet feet.
But Yoshi has constipated fleet feet.
That's true. But you could put on a Luigi costume and pretend like Luigi's in the game.
It's not the same.
But it feels pretty good. Like, I was running around as Luigi.
That's how I play the game, like, 90% of the time. But it's not the same.
The kids were watching me, and they're like, oh, cool, you're playing as Luigi. I'm like, nope. They're like, oh, that's Luigi. I'm like, nope. Well, Mario's red. I'm like, yeah. Mario stole Luigi's clothes. And they're like, that's weird. Yeah, well,
Man.
It's Mario's Odyssey, not Luigi's Odyssey.
Kids these days,
One of my favorite things, like one of the most unexpected things to happen in this game. And it kind of happened towards the end, but not all the way at the end. The dragon.
Oh yeah, man.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, super weird in the best way. Like, it just seemed so out of place because it just seemed so hyper detailed. It seemed like it was like Ridley right out of Metroid.
Right. And I was like, this is super bizarre. But then, like, when you step back, you're like, you know what? No, like, that's, in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of normal for this game to have something this offsetting, you know? I loved it. I love the bot. I love going back to that world now and, like, just seeing him collapse there and his claws hanging onto the side of the wall and what? That dragon, man.
There's so many weird surprises.
Also in the Mushroom Kingdom, the moons they're still called power moons, but they are stars. On the Mario 64 game.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was...
It's a little details like that.
Dude. It's like, it honestly, it's the same thing as like the rupees in the Mario Kart 8 track.
Yep.
It's just like that same, like, there's that little touch that just like gets me so giddy inside.
Yeah. Doesn't change anything at all. But just seeing it, you're just like, yeah, I feel happy grabbing this. I appreciate that. What a good game, man. Okay, question.
Mm-hmm.
Not speaking for us, but just speaking for the gaming landscape as it is. which game do you think will get more love in the end of the year for Game of the Year consideration? This or Zelda?
I think it's going to be Zelda.
I still think that too. Only because it was such a departure from what we've seen from Zelda games. But this feels like the perfect Mario game. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's everything we wanted, and honestly more. Like, it sounds so cliche saying that, but it really is.
Right. It's this one will be more fresh in people's minds. Like, people will still go back to, like, Zelda. Like, I'm so excited just to see end of the year discussions on different sites about how this is all going to shake out, And, I mean, for the Video Game Awards, hosted by a friend of the show, Jeff Keighley, 2 of the 5 Game of the Year nominations are Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Nintendo exclusives, Mario and Zelda. Like, that's unheard of for Nintendo. Like, Nintendo always has, like, that Nintendo fan cliche audience, But just, it's incredible, man. I'm... What a year for Nintendo.
It's I can't think of a better year. I cannot think of a better year for Nintendo.
And they're not even done with, like, the fiscal year for Nintendo. Yeah. Like, that's the stupid part.
Yeah, we got Animal Crossing in a couple weeks here.
Yeah?
And granted, it's mobile, but still, dude, like, the mobile games have been solid, too.
They're going to make some money on that one.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Xenoblade comes out in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Rocket League just came out.
Yeah.
Skyrim comes out tomorrow.
Skyrim, Doom, and LA Noire all on the Switch.
Yeah, man.
What is this life, Collin? next to the best Mario and Zelda games that have ever been released.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. Good job, Nintendo. Good job.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about it, Collin? I mean, if you have a Switch, you should be playing Mario Odyssey. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't be playing Mario Odyssey at this point. Like, I'm to the point where when I get all the stars, or moons, I should say, I'm probably going to start over and do it again.
I keep thinking about restarting Breath of the Wild.
I'm waiting for the DLC to drop, which is coming out soon.
Yeah, it's also another one I forgot to mention. It's supposed to be in December, so...
Yeah, I mean, that's...
What the crap?
We don't have time, Collin.
The crap.
Why don't we just quit our jobs?
Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
And quit other responsibilities like school and families and whatnot and just play video games.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. That could work.
I don't think anybody will mind.
Nah, we'll be fine.
Yeah, totally.
So next week is Thanksgiving week.
Yes.
So we're probably not going to be recording Thursday, I would imagine.
No.
Are you going out of town? You staying in town?
I don't know yet. It's tentative.
Okay. So we may have an episode next week. We may not.
Yes.
We may take a week off for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
We'll see. But our next episode, whenever that is, will be an Xbox episode.
Yes, and I have a lot to talk about with Xbox.
You do, because you got Xbox One X.
Yes.
So that will be a fun discussion. I'm very curious about that sucker and how it's performing and what you think of it. So we'll have a full review on the next time we record this show. Collin, where can the people find you at?
They can find me at PDX_geek on Twitter. They can add me on various gaming platform. My gamer tag, network ID, and all that jazz is Caboose's Hero. So add me if you want to play some Destiny.
You still playing?
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. You excited for that DLC?
Oh, I'm so excited for the DLC because I'm run out of things to do.
In Destiny, you mean?
In Destiny, yeah.
Well, you're never running out of things to do.
Yeah,
in general.
No. Yeah.
You can find me personally on Twitter at The Noise with a Y. You can follow the show on Twitter at Joys of Games. And hope everybody in the United States at least, has a very wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. Any international listeners, hope you have a great Thursday.
Yep.
I
have a somber yet informative article I'd like to read as we close out the episode, if that's okay with you.
Kind of going off script here.
Yep.
But I'm going to trust you on this one.
Okay.
Knowing that I could edit this out if I need to.
So this is a critical perspective on Waluigi.
Oh, God. Why did I say yes?
Waluigi is the ultimate example of an individual shaped by a signifier. Waluigi is a man seen only in mirror images, lost in a hall of mirrors. He is a reflection of a reflection of a reflection. You start with Mario, the wholesome, all-Italian plumbing Superman. You reflect him to create Luigi. The same thing, but slightly less. You invert Mario to create Wario. Mario turns septic and libertarian. Then you reflect the inversion in the reflection, and you create a being who can only exist in reference to others. Waluigi is the true nowhere man. Without the other characters he reflects, inverts, and parodies, he has no reason to exist. Waluigi's identity only comes from what and who he isn't. Without a wider frame of reference, he is nothing. He is not his own man. In a world where our identities are shaped by our warped relationships to brands and commerce, we are all Waluigi.
You take that back right now. Wow. I was not expecting the show to end on that note, Collin. At all. Thank you for listening. Like I said, have a happy Thanksgiving and think about the sadness that is Waluigi's existence while you shove food down your gullet and watch football and have a great nap. Also, play some video games. You know, I took next week off, man, Collin. I'm going to play so many video games. It's not even funny.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, me too. I say that now. Will it happen? We'll see.
Right.
Yeah. It always sounds good on paper. Thank you for listening. Remember, play some video games and enjoy them. Good night.
Thanks, and remember, we are all Waluigi.
Here we go, off the rails. Don't you know it's time to raise our sails? It's freedom like you never knew. Don't need bags or a pass. Say the word, I'll be there in a flash. You could say my hat is off to you. Oh, we can zoom all the way to the moon from this great wide wacky world. Jump with me, grab coins with me, oh yeah. It's time to jump up in the air. Jump up, don't be scared. Jump up and your cares will soar away. And if the dark clouds start to swirl, don't feel them shed a tear, 'cause I'll be your one-up girl. So let's all jump up super high, high up in the sky. There's no power up like dancing. You know that you're my superstar. No one else can take me this far. I'm flipping the switch. Get ready for this song. Let's do the Odyssey. Odyssey, yes, see. 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 Odyssey, Odyssey. Spin the wheel, take a chance. Every journey starts a new romance. A new world's calling out to you. Take a turn off the path. Find a new addition to the cast. You know that any captain needs a crew. Take it in stride as you move side to side. They're just different points of view. Jump with me, grab coins with me, oh yeah. Come on and jump up in the air, jump without a care. Jump up 'cause you know that I'll be there. And if you find you're short on joy, don't fret, just don't forget that you're still a one-up boy. So go on, straighten up your cap, let your toes begin to tap. This rhythm is a power shoe. Don't forget you're the superstar. No one else can make it this far. Put a comb through that stash. Now you've got panache. Oh, let's do the Odyssey. It's time to jump